Our series, Changing the Game, highlights extraordinary women who are making a difference now and for future generations. And today, we're introducing you to the powerhouse duo behind the nonprofit Welcome Baby USA. That's Sarah Steinhardt and Juliet Fuisz. They are fighting to make sure all newborns have critical items that those newborns need to grow and develop. Their group gives free packages filled with essentials to low-income families, and that includes hundreds of diapers and baby wipes, a thermometer, hats, socks, and even a baby carrier. Remember when Vlad put his on for the first time? Yeah. The goal is to give families items that newborns need for those first 4 weeks of life, which are critical. Since their launch in 2018, they have given away 5,000 packages, including more than 1 million diapers to families in 17 different states. And Sarah and Juliet join us now. Ladies, thank you very much for being here.
Thank you so much.
Wow. So, Sarah, just tell us what inspired you to take on what is, at this point, really quite a Herculean and impressive effort.
So I had just given birth to my first son. I was out buying diapers, and I was experiencing all of the normal things that you experience when you bring a newborn home. I was having a lot of postpartum anxiety. I was still in a lot of pain, and I was exhausted. I stopped on the street corner, and I just started crying. And it sort of occurred to me in that moment that there are millions of women all over the country who are doing exactly what I'm doing, but without a stable income, consistent housing, no familial support, and certainly no support from state or federal agencies. I started researching it, and there is a program in Finland that provides every newborn with a package of all the essentials they need for the first month of life.
Huge fan of that program.
It's amazing.
I've heard of it as well. I think we should have it here. I'm glad you guys are doing some of it, right?
That's exactly right. So I approached Juliet with the idea. We should do it here.
Because you guys are friends.
We've been friends for 20 years.
We've been friends for 20 years, and as moms struggling through our own postpartum journeys, we realized that there's a gap in support, that if you're on food stamps, if you have WIC, it doesn't cover any of the items in these packages, which are the absolute necessities that every baby needs. So what do you do if you're trying to recover from birth and you can't afford these items? And we couldn't stand it. And so we started packing boxes in our own living rooms the next day, and here we are several years later, and we've really grown.
I think it's important, too, to emphasize that you guys, you live what you speak. Because you have 3 children, ranging in age from what to what?
8. I have 3 sons, 8, 6, and 1, and a stepdaughter.
And you have 4 children.
Daughter is 6.5. I have crazy, amazing 3-year-old twin boys, and then I have an 8-month-old over here in the green room.
He's in the green room. I mean, and so you know when you have little children in the house how much work that is.
Yeah. Yes.
What surprised you both when you brought the babies home? Because on Instagram everybody's happy, the baby's healthy, knock on wood. And it just seems like life we know is going to be a little complicated, but it's something we can get through. That is not reality for so many people.
After I had my first daughter, I remember a moment where I had just come home from the hospital that night. We needed more diapers. I physically couldn't stand and walk across the room carrying my daughter if I had to. And I sent my husband out for diapers, and that moment has stuck with me. What if I was on my own? Yeah. What if I didn't have him to send out for diapers? I couldn't walk. And that's the reality. And unfortunately, with so little support for families in this country, women are giving birth and going home, and they're on their own.
Yeah. How did your experience as news producers prepare you to be able to sort of logistically put this together? You're providing $400 plus worth of supplies, but it's $160 because of who you've partnered with, but it's free to these mothers.
I think that being a producer, you come in every day and you're faced with lots of problems that have to be solved in a very short period of time. There's no option to just not do it.
So
and I
true.
think we kind of approached the beginning of Welcome Baby with that same philosophy. We knew we had to do it, and we just got it done. We started really small, and we've grown consistently every year, and we just sort of made it happen.
It was hard for us to start small because we want to start big, but what we focused on is that we are solving a real problem for one family, for one mother, for one baby. And it's tangible, and it's really impactful for that recovery period from birth. And doing it one by one by one, we've grown and expanded it from there.
So how do people get it? How do people get Welcome Baby?
So we distribute our packages through hospitals, community health organizations, and clinics from coast to coast. If people are interested in obtaining one, they should talk to their medical provider. We are open to taking on new partners, and we look forward to it. Our lofty goal is for every single person giving birth to a baby in this country to have access to a
Is there a
Welcome
quick
Baby
way you
box.
can say how people can help? We have like 15 seconds left.
Donations help us buy the supplies for our packages, whether you're an individual or you're a company and you want to donate, and that could be money or it could also be items to go in our packages.
You did it in time. There's Steinhardt and
You know
Juliet.
something about time.
Thank you so much. We'll
Good
be right
job,
back.
you guys.
Nicely
Really
done.
good job.